A very good afternoon, Team Zimbabwe. Maswera say, welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this afternoon, we need to take a look on President Nelson Chamisa's controversial statement. Yala deliver. Remember, everybody, vanga vachita kuti aiwa mdara, haana kugona kushanda nevamwe, vamwe vangashtaura vachiti unity is key, vamwe vangashtaura about collective leadership. Pataurwa zvinhu zvakawanda zvakasiyana-siyana. And President Nelson Chamisa has responded to part of those things. What is not clear is, was this response targeted to Shavangu, Biti, Ncube, and other people who are being fingered to have allegedly worked with ZANU-PF against President Nelson Chamisa? Remember, when we went to the elections, several things happened. We were seeing that some leaders were seeming to be disengaging from the chorus of change because they were fighting for other positions. And I'm going to explain what President Nelson Chamisa meant. He said he was responding to Gordon Nyabunze. Gordon said transparency and collective leadership. President Nelson Chamisa then said, is there anything called collective leadership for unlike hearts and minds? Governance issues are matters of the heart. So this is very, very important, Team Zimbabwe, to note that this is what President Nelson Chamisa actually said. And I'm going to explain and give you my own views regarding this matter. Remember, I'm a political commentator. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody. I just give comments on what is happening in the political arena. Personally, I support President Nelson Chamisa, but I do not speak on his behalf. So this is a disclaimer. Tomorrow, Msazoti Takazoti. So in my own view, I'm going to explain what I think. Just imagine that you have some people who you believe that they have the capacity and capability to be the two vice presidents of your nation. And you have those people around you, and you are going into an election, and those people believe that they have to go to parliament. And if you take a look on the other person, on your opponent or to your opponent, he does have a team of people who do not believe that they have to go to parliament. President Mnangagwa was surrounded by VP Kembo and VP Chiwenga. Both of them, they were not fighting to be in parliament. Both of them were fighting to be in the presidium, in the executive. They campaigned together. Then you have a group of people who are leaders in your party. They are actually throwing their heads in the political arena with the juniors. These are people who can be vice presidents. At a certain point in time, they can be vice presidents. Even if they are not in parliament, these are people who can be amongst the 7 people who can be appointed as ministers. These are people who can fit in that criteria. But they are throwing their heads to be in parliament with the juniors. They've been there for more than 20 years. And they are told, guys, let us put our hearts and minds together. Let us fight with one goal of winning Zimbabwe for change. And somebody saying, I have to win Zimbabwe and be in parliament. These are the people we said, these are senior people. We said, you have to go to your rural areas, be there, and make sure that if you are to be defeated, you are defeated. If you are to win, you win. The reason why we are saying so, these are people who are well-resourced, people with vast resources, and these are people who could have won several seats in the rural areas. Because number one, they are experienced. Number two, they are well-oiled and financed. Parliament and everything else, which means they would have made better campaigns for the party. But they chose not to do all those things. They chose, number one, to be part of the parliamentarians, disregarding the fact that these are people who are in the executive, who are in the presidium. So ZANU-PF, when they said we are removing vice presidents to be elected together with the president, that was a trick which they used. So if the leader was to go to the election with the known vice presidents, and they are elected together, what were these people going to say? This is the same scenario. What were they going to say? What excuse were they going to say when they didn't even make it? To make matters worse, these people were not removed from the ballot or from the election by any individual. They were defeated. Yes, they were better people than you. So always in life, what the one thing I have mastered is there is someone better than me. I always appreciate someone who is doing things better in a better way than me. Rust Markham is equally good, and he is a hardworking man. He just got an opportunity because the strengths were on his side, and he won that election. And you have somebody who is angry because of that. Somebody who is capacitated to be the next vice president of Zimbabwe was angry. So I believe that what President Nelson Chamisa says is true, because these comrades, when they threw their heads into the parliamentary race, they just showed the whole world that they were not ready to be in the executive. They just showed that their interest was not to have Zimbabwe, was to be in parliament and remain in the opposition. I will tell you this. I have seen a lot of people saying takarasikirwa navabiti, vabiti was the best foot forward vaifana kunge vari kuparliament. Vanhu kuenda kunodhibheta chii vabiti tichitarisira kuti vakufana kunge vari either a minister or a vice president, which means kana vachienda kuparliament vari kuenda kunopa maresponses, not kuenda kunoholda leadership accountable. Ndo vakutofanira kuholdwa accountable in a new government. But it was a different story altogether. Then we have an issue yekuti we are talking about vanhu vagarisa in leadership positions. Let us have renewal. Let us recycle. And we have these people who believe that even ndo chete vanofana kuramba vachingoelectwa. How can you be a Democrat iwe usingadi kusiyirawo vamwe power? Hausuda kusiyira vamwe power? You have been there for 20 years. You want to continue to be in parliament. Vamwe vadiki vakaita sesu vachapinda muparliament rini? What about the young people who want to be in parliament? When are they going to get that opportunity to be there? Saka muchaona kuti just because President Nelson Chamisa vakaramba zvechizivano akabva atsamwirwa, why didn't you ring fence masitsi edu? The same applies to the comrades who thought kuti we are so popular in Zimbabwe to an extent yekuti tichangopiwa ma-free seats ku-CCC, tongonzi uyai mungopinda pajekerera wakomana muconteste mupinde muparliament. So you see that mentality is totally wrong, it's totally off. So personally, I see that these leaders were not even serious about winning Zimbabwe for change. They are only serious about maintaining their status in parliament, vachita mari vachiona ma-benefits. These are people who never believed kuti opposition ichawina election in Zimbabwe. So how can you have a collective leadership in vanhu vakadaro? More importantly, President Nelson Chamisa is speaking about unity, which means you want to unite the nation of Zimbabwe. Hazvinei kuti uri webato ripi, hazvinei kuti uri munhu akaita sei, uri munhu akaita sei. Let us unite and have the best minds in the leadership positions. Just imagine iwewe wanga uri leader ari kungosurvivor simply because you have been there for more than 20 years. And you are now facing competition from guys with ideas. You have Freeman Chari there with ideas, real ideas to say, let us tackle governance issues in A, B, C, D ways. Then you have another leader, Arikuti Ndandiripo, and you have Freeman Chari, wanga asipo, asiri part of the structures. We have so many people very outside Zimbabwe who are not part of the structures, but very vanhu potential yekuti they can bring transformation, they can bring leadership, they can even transform the governance systems. Vanhu ivavo, they will not get opportunities simply because of vanatanga tiripo ndanga ndine position yokuti. Which means the day you say, let us do A, B, C, D, the people will say, takuimpicha mdara, hauze zvaunoita. because vanenge vachirwadziwa kuti you are now introducing new people, you are now introducing ideas. So I find it difficult vanhu vanoti heke zvinenge zvakazvikomberedza nevanhu vanyowani akasiya maveterans ese. So do you think kuti vanhu vakaitawo sesu nevamwe vakajoinawo politics manje just because havana 20 years vari in politics, vanhu ivavo havana relevance yekuti vange vachiwana ma-leadership positions? Those are the problems we are facing right now. If we are to have a congress, vanhu vakagara varipo vari relevant ivavo kudhara nakudhara ndo vanhu vanongoramba vachioccupy mapositions because they are known. Other people vari little known vachangouya vaya, nobody will elect them. That is the reason why President Chamisa want things to be done properly. Tinyatsova nema-right mindsets vanenge vari on the ground vekuti tinoyaziva kuti ningi anogona chakati, ningi anogona chakati, ningi anogona chakati, and people are elected based on merit. So personally, I agree with this statement. It is a matter yekuti we have to have like mindsets. We have to, unoziva kuti pane zvinhu zvandakaona kuti President Chamisa vari kwavari, inini ndiri kwandiri. If we are like-minded, we can think of one thing, and the moment I start to talk about that thing, munhu iyeye anobva atoita, anokasira aita connect with the idea yandiri kutaura nezvayo, zvekuti can even elaborate further tisina patakambotaura nezvazvo. That is what happens when you are like-minded, when your hearts are working together. So I believe that President Chamisa needs people who are serious, people who are not in politics for money, people who are in politics for transformation. Those are the kind of people we want. Unoziva kuti pataitaura chiti guys handei kumusha ngatiitei operation munhu wese kumusha kwake. Some of the comrades who are big wigs in the opposition said tinopenga, because they don't even believe kuti they can do something kumisha kwavo. They've never done anything kumisha yavanobva. So it's a sacrifice yekuti some of us takaenda kumamisha kwaipisa kwaityisa kwairohwa vanhu kwaitika zvese, and we say let us go and contest there. But there are some comrades who are in the urban areas vaitsokotedzerana. So instead yekumbopawo vamwe chance kuti okay guys, imi mafana chimboyorwisanai kunoku mupinde, isusu regai tiende kumamisha tinorwisa tiri kumamisha kwayakasimbira ZANU-PF because we are the veterans. Izvozvo ndo zvinoratidza kuti you are a veteran. But if you can't do that, uruda kublemani wawaida kuti aunze that vote yaita kuti muwine nyika ndiani? Because yes, kuma urban areas you win, but what about the rural areas? So this is my own thinking, Team Zimbabwe, and my own response to this. I believe kuti this is a very powerful response to President Chamisa's critics. However, I do not know guys zvamunofunga kuti muri kuti chi. Ndataura njiti inini ndiri kutaura ndisina kumirira anybody. I'm representing myself as a citizen, as an individual, not as a member of any political party.